All right, so Adam Dencker. Probably wrong, but close. So props / environment artists. Hey, Jacob. If you ever heard of this guy, check him out. Jacob Clausen. He's dope. Let's see here. Yeah, Artstation needs like a hey, I'm presenting stage or mode so you don't get alerted and things don't pop up and all that jazz. Or else I'll just keep shouting people out. Let's go to that thing here. Okay, content, quality of work, advice on what to make more of. Okay. Just don't log in. Thanks, Lucas. Very good point. So props / environment artists available. I like it. Oh, Gothenburg, nice. Are you so it's like props collection, and then we've got a scene. Oh man, we got a scene that's called the Great War, Lucas. A scene to be seen. Cannons. So CCCP. Bunker lights. Nice. So this is a really good asset for material studies. And I would say for the most part, the material looks pretty good. You can notice in your albedo that it's very single colored, minus a few elements. So that with that said, you could probably what is this rendered in? Marmoset or Unreal, possibly. I mean, modeling wise, it's pretty good. It's more about like really pushing those materials. Oh man, it's awesome you posted your reference in with this. So seeing how shiny or glossy this is, yours is very muted in that sense. The detail that's on the surface of this paint might be a little strong in the normal, which is leading to like if you were to make it more reflective, then you would just get a lot of like that kind of grainy noise in the normal. So watching out for that is important. I was gonna say if you have this in Unreal, it sounds like it's in Unreal. It was baked in Marmoset. Okay. The albedo, you could probably go for a constant color and then masks to interpolate between all of the different changes in information here. And then maybe like a material ID or a vertex color to switch between these two colors. Because right now it's, for example, you have the paint and then you have the tape and then a sticker or a card, right? And getting the roughness values between those three things to resonate differently is going to be really important. Because they are going to be very different. And it feels like the tape is taking on too much of the normal information that's under it. Whereas like, I guess it'd kind of be like snow, right? You have like a bunch of rocks and sticks and stuff, and then snow going on top of it. You can still see those shapes, but they're much softer because the snow is just kind of diffusing all of that detail. I expect maybe that would happen on the tape as well. And then the roughness difference between the tape and the paint would be different. And they look like they are. It's probably just the normal information on top of the tape that's really kind of making it feel off. But I guess you also could have gone for a more like muted paint, of diffused paint. But yeah, it's cool. One other way to approach this would be to like actually model the strips for the tape and put it on there. Because then they would be separate materials, and then you could completely change the detail normal on it, as well as the roughness individual of everything else. You could probably do that in the shader as well. It's just how you want to approach it. All right. Nice. Actually, this is a pretty cool steady because there tends to be so many different materials when it comes to this type of equipment. This is super detailed, and there's a nice variation in the roughnesses. The roughnesses. Wow, it's getting late, guys. I'm gonna need more of the. So there's some nice variation in the roughness between all of the materials, especially when you start looking at this area versus this. It's super cool to see. This is cool, and having like the string there, the little knot and stuff. What is the plural for roughness? Roughness? where I would say it's kind of weaker is like the tackle box. Feels very strange quality wise compared to the fishing rod. Rough knife. Oh, this is cool. Roughnesses. Man, is there a stream delay? I'm getting some stream delay sense here. So you can see the quality of the fishing rod is much higher than the tackle box. Oh wow, you went all in. Holy cow. Dang, this is cool. Oh, that's so cool. And maybe it's just the tackle box is just overly too dirty, and really going back and like making sense of where the dirt is. Like a lot of this information here is information that would stick up like that. If like, do you see like all this stuff? If this was concrete or like stone, a lot of this information should just be in the roughness and maybe the albedo for like the really gunky stuff. Like this is also very shallow and is just extruded straight down, bringing it in a little bit, kind of like how you're doing here. If you bring that in as well, you're matching more of the design of the tackle box, and then also allowing for it to look more complex naturally. So I would watch out for adding normals to every detail that you add on the surface. A lot of it can be in the roughness. And usually a lot of it is in the roughness. I think, how old is this? 3 months old? You should totally go back and just make those adjustments to the normal and the roughness. And this will sing so much better automatically. And it'll make your the overall presentation much better. I don't even know if I would bring focus to this. You have the fishing rod, and then you scroll down, you get a few more other angles, and then the tackle box with it, and then this render. So the tackle box is just more about part of the presentation of the fishing rod, not the tackle box as another prop. Hey, look, I made this too. It should be just part of the presentation, kind of like a platform to a diorama, or a pedestal to a diorama, or a statue even. Yeah. This is cool, though. This is like, I like the roughness. Dang, look at this. Delicious. Oh, man, it's telling a story now. Who's Ingrid, huh? Who's Ingrid? Yeah, people put a lot of time into materials, especially the roughness now. A lot more work goes into the roughness. You see from back here, it doesn't look so busy. I'd probably push the metallic values of this stuff more on the side here. That might be more of a stylistic choice. It would bring it a little bit more in range with the metals that are on the fishing rod and the kind of reflective surfaces of the glass bottles. See, this is interesting. that these are in here as well. I might... I don't know if you need wireframes for this stuff. I always kind of go back and forth on wireframes. Yeah, having some type of ground would be really nice, just so... I mean, there's some shadow there, but if you had like like a plane that just had some fall off into the shadow, it could be as simple as just having a plane, add some vertices around the outside edge, like an extra loop, and then alpha on the outside vertices. That could go a long way. So the ground just fades off into the darkness, or fades from visibility. It seems like you might be missing some ambient occlusion as well. Is this just Blender? So is this just rendered in Blender? Wait. Or Toolbag? Marmoset, okay. It seems like it might be missing contact shadows. Looks like Marmoset. Man, I bet if you got all these materials set up in Blender, I bet Eevee could make it look pretty good. I bet maybe just a little bit. And if not, then you just switch the cycles because you already set it up anyways. Maybe. Looks pretty cool though. Let's check out this scene. I bet Lucas has a lot to say about this. It's hard to read the... Wait, what? Oh, okay, this is a GIF. I was like, what's happening? It's so large that I didn't expect it to be a GIF. So all assets are from the Megaskins library, and I was only responsible for level art / prop placement. So is it like taking a where a tree used to be and like converting it? Is that the idea? Because like, right, so let's see here. I need to grab like this one. Yes. Okay, so if we look at this shot, right? Let me just look at what's going on here. So there's balance-wise, it's quite muted. So Lucas says, nothing reads Great War to me about this. I like the idea and mood, but I see no frame of time, history, location, nation, or indication for when and what we are. That last part's a little weird, Lucas. So for me, despite that information, I think the understanding like what we're looking at and how things are placed, and understanding like so that I can see that this is clearly a separate prop. If there was a way to make it so like a shell had landed here and blew out this whole corner, sandbags everywhere, right? And it's exploded and exposed, connected, and it's through an explosion exposed this little like area that's been built in. I think that would be telling much more of a story. And right now I feel like it's just very... It's compacted, so it's hard to... It's a compact scene, and it's just kind of... It's kind of difficult to read what you're looking at. Oh, yeah, Lucas says, well, what is this? Is it a memorial, a position? Are we mid-fight, after fight? Is it a reenactment? It's being able to understand what you're looking at, I think, is going to be really important. Oh man, game assembly. Been considering getting rid of it. I mean, it's not bad. I would say it's probably one of the weaker. It feels more rushed, especially since you have like assets that you didn't have to build, right? You're just propping. Taking that into account and then really kind of just putting them together, I think is going to be important. And understanding what you're like, know what story you want to tell and then tell it. I think this is these three though, these are very strong. I think if this one had a better like layout and story behind it, it would be good. But these three are quite strong. And I do like, even though I know that this is part of this scene, I like that this has been separated out because there was a lot of attention done on the material work for this. Oh, okay. I'm going to look really, really fast. Oh, I know this CGMA course. Nice. All right, with branches like this, try not to overlap leaves for your cutouts, right? Because like if you have alpha, right, you can see that's like a little hole of alpha there. There's a little hole there and a little opening there and there. When you get really far away from it, it's just going to become solid. It's going to mip down to those little holes in the alpha, just close up. So it'll become very solid, and then you'll very easily see the geometry of the branch. It's actually better to have the leaves less on a branch and more spread out from each other, so there's alpha space, and then just adding more geometry of those leaves to just kind of fill in the space. Oh man, we all learned that one the hard way. But I mean, thankfully, it's quite easy to adjust if you've set it all up to go and iterate on the branch, rebake, and then it's just replacing the texture with the branches that are already positioned with the cards. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. That should be pretty cool. But yeah, these three, this one should be in the very. I would if you wanted to keep this one, I would put this one at the end here. Move this one to the front, this one second, and this one third, and then this guy in the back here. Thanks for showing us your portfolio. I'm going to go on to the next one here. Wait, what's up? Which one second? All right, hang on here. We do this. Like that. Does that help? Cool. Okay. Next portfolio.